All right, hello. My name is Jeff Steinkamp. We're here today to talk about the movie A Civil Action. This was a movie about tort. Uh, it was about environmental hazards and poisoning. The movie starts off with Jan Shipman. He's a lawyer that has a small firm, and they inherit what they call an orphan case. The orphan case is about a small town in Massachusetts, Walburn, Massachusetts, that has had its fair share of rough times. Uh, what the family wants is their children have passed away from leukemia, and they want to know what happened and who was responsible, and basically an apology from these people. Uh, so where it goes down to is after a little bit of investigation and talking to the companies around there and debriefing uh, employees and whatnot, comes to find out that Beatrice Foods and W.R. Grace and Company have got some factories there, and they could possibly have leaked some poison into the aquifer there at the town, to which Jan Shipman wants to prove that this links back to the leukemia and the deaths of the children, along with multiple others that are sick, not feeling good, and uh, just not doing so well. So the question um, what can we get from this? Um, the movie, I feel like the movie encompassed negligence, nuisance, strict liability, breach of duty, compensatory damages, punitive damages, and what I thought was interesting, it took me a while to figure out what happened, was the no fault upon Beatrice that was ruled there. Damages that we're going to talk about could be damages of personal injury, wrongful death, property damages, punitive, and compensatory damages. I feel like all of these were in the movie, and I did read some of the book too. I just didn't get too far into the book, but they're very much in there. So what I came down to was W.R. Gracie's company there. The employees that were there, or someone had seen the employees illegally dispose of the chemical there, um, trichloroethylene, and it was illegally disposed of. It was disposed of in the wrong manner. Uh, and there's eyewitnesses for this for Gracie. Uh, Comes to find out during the first trial, there was not enough evidence for Beatrice. Nobody actually saw the illegal disposal of this. So, uh, in the end run, and that's where the no fault came from. Is the judge put it towards the jury, and he gave them three questions to answer, and just do they believe that they could pinpoint that the company did illegally dispose of these chemicals, and that the chemicals did get into the aquifer before a certain amount of time. And comes to find out that Gracie was held liable for it, and Beatrice was not. Beatrice was let go. So I thought that was really interesting. Um, I didn't quite understand the questioning and how the judge came to that, but uh, I think, and that's what I wrote down, is I feel like I was on Schlickman's side so much that I was like, wait a second, this isn't right. But could it possibly have been that, Mr. Thatcher on Beatrice's side did such a good job being his attorney that he had that motion carry through? Which come to find out later on when they retried it that that wasn't the case, and certain things were withheld from it. Going back into it, the damages, uh, personal damages, personal injury damages. Obviously, I feel like we can talk about that. Where if we were trying this case, like the medical bills, the time off from work, things of that nature. We could definitely um, go into that. Obviously, wrongful death. I feel like that's what that was the biggest. That's the main thing, was trying to prove that leukemia did come from the triglycer or trichloroethylene. Wow, and linking that back to it, and then obviously linking their death to the leukemia. And I feel like just medical records along with physician statements could go a long way with that. Uh, Property damage. That's something that I really didn't talk about, but with the water contamination that it is, I mean, I feel like people's property values would be going down, plus the damage to that. I feel like there would be some property damage that could be sought after also, along with the compensatory and the punitive and the compensatory damages. Which compensatory damages would be that, I just want to make him so the family's whole again. Uh, which I think the first one was kind of lacking. Punitive damages was definitely lacking, I think, in the first trial. Then again, the next trial with the multi-million-dollar cleanup fee that both of them had to split. I feel like the punitive damages was very well taken care of then. Let's see. Final that our type of punitive damages. Um, then there at the end, what did I see about the characters themselves? Mr. Schlitman was a very interesting character, and I have some quotes from him. Uh, like there's the one where he stated, "The lawyer that shares the client's pain does not share a or does such a great disservice. He should have his license taken away." Um, I feel like he went against his own teaching there into it, where he did get emotionally involved in the situation. I think that's where the settlements kind of went out the window. He had three settlements that would have been more than what he did at the end, and that would have taken care of everybody, but he wanted more. And like the $8 million from Gracie, he thought that they should give more because that's what they were willing to give. So why settle with what they're willing to give and let's go for more? Uh, I thought it was very interesting at the very beginning of the movie when Mr. Slipman talks about the bigger firms and they have their Harvard degrees and their fancy offices and their fancy rugs, and they do this to intimidate them. He's like, don't let them do that. That's just the game. And then there at the end, he did have to go to the Harvard Club, and that's what Gracie was. I feel like he was trying to do. He's trying to intimidate him, have him there at the Harvard Club, and then take him to his office, and then with the whole little fancy fancy little, I always call it French stool thing there, put his feet up on. So I feel like that was an intimidation tactic, and that's what he was talking about at first. But yeah, I do feel like Mr. Schlipman did become more personally involved in it. He didn't listen to his team. He definitely didn't listen to his financial director or advisor. He got tunnel visioned, went down the rabbit hole per se, and I feel like that's a lesson that if it wasn't really taught, it was definitely hit upon during the movie. Um, Trying to make sure you keep your clients as clients and not as don't get personally involved. Like he said, you don't want a doctor that's shy of blood, so you don't want a lawyer that gets personally involved. I believe that. And that was in my right here is research needs to be done. Before taking a case, listen to your financial survivor. Make sure your cases are financially sound. Do not become emotionally invested in the plaintiff. Uh, Somewhere along the line, I got right there. Somewhere along the line, Mr. Slipman did make some bad decisions, and ultimately ended up where he did. I guess not technically losing the case, but not getting the case where he wanted it to be. This was a great. I feel like this was a great example of tort law in the classroom. Like I said, definitely had to wrap my mind around the whole where Beatrice got off and Gracie did not. Had to watch it a few times to get that. Realized that basically, employees did see Gracie employees dumping illegally, where Beatrice at that time had nobody to talk to them about it. Um, Great time. I do believe I learned something. Um, I'm also an instructor for EMS, so it's like, if you have any questions, please let me know. I think I always end with that. Thank you for your time, and hope to hear from you.